Hello everybody, it's Joe here, and welcome to Train Simulator 2022, or Train Sim Classic as it's soon to be known. Today you are joining us on the Glasgow Subway, / Clockwork Orange, / Glasgow Metro, / Glasgow Underground. Heard it called a lot of things over the years, and today we're going to be driving an inner circle service on this newly released add-on, costing you £19.99. We're going to check it out and see if it's any good. First of all, let's get our cab set up. There we go, we'll have our headlights on. Oh, stunning. One thing you will notice, it looks brilliant. It really does look good. And I'm quite excited to try this. We need dim cab light. There we go, that's what I've been told. Headlights are on. We need to pop our saloon lights on and take our parking brake off. Helps if you click off rather than on. And away we go. There we go. Now, apparently you can drive this, even if you don't really know the route. You can drive this without this. You know, you can drive it like this. This is because, if you look, we've got a speed here of 18 kilometres an hour. We are working in kilometres, and rather than miles an hour, which is a little bit weird given that we are in Scotland. But I guess it's an underground system, isn't it? And quite a few underground systems do work in kilometres an hour. Now, this is going to take us roughly 40 minutes according to Train Simulator. We're going to start at the depot. This is where we are now. And we're going to go around the inner circle. And I think we're returning back to the depot. Let's have a look. Yeah, we are actually returning to the depot afterwards. So the whole thing, should take roughly 40 minutes. Now, my first thoughts on this, it looks half decent. You know, we've got a 3-carriage unit. You can also use a 2-carriage unit, which, if you look, it doesn't sit right with me, but the 3-carriage unit is actually, look, they're all like single-carriage things that are all stuck together. It's a bit weird. There we go. We've got a 3-car stop board there. Brilliant. Alright, take our headlights off. There we go. We'll leave all that. Pop the parking brake on so it doesn't roll away while we are walking to the other end, because of course we are walking to the other end. I think that's about right, isn't it? Right, there we go. Change ends. Headlights back on. Parking brake off. It's all good. It's all good. Right, cab lights on. Oh, there we go. Get rid of that. Cab lights to dim, please. There we go. Now, you normally wouldn't drive with the cab lights on, obviously, on a railway, on a proper railway. Ooh, that's not good, is it? Calling it a proper railway, does that mean this isn't a proper railway? Well, it's not, is it? It's a subway. It's a metro system, technically. But yeah, it's apparently you do with this so that while you're in the tunnels, you can see all of your controls, which does kind of make sense, you know, when you think about it. Now, the thing is if you look, I've left it in shunt. There? 18 kilometres an hour, it's not speeding up, which is interesting, because when we go down this hill, you'll see what happens if I leave it in shunt. And one thing that I have noticed as well, the sounds on this are absolutely fantastic. There you go. See, it's holding it at 18 kilometres an hour, which suggests to me that it's impossible to speed on this thing. Even if you crank that speed right up to parallel, it won't speed. So where's the fun in that? Well, you've got quite a lot with this. You know, I enjoy. I mean, the fact is, if the trains limit themselves in real life, then you want them to limit on here. There's nothing worse than when the trains do limit themselves in real life, and Train Simulator's just like, oh yeah, but you can just do what you want because it's fine, because we couldn't be bothered to replicate it. Whereas they could on this. There's a lot of little things which I'm quite impressed with. There we go. So first stop coming up is Ibrox Inner. We're going across here, obviously. Quite tight corners, aren't they? But I guess they are rather little metro cars. Got the view here. I think have I turned the saloon lights off? Let's have a look. Ah, there we go. Saloon lights are on, which is good for entrance service. Got quite a nice detailed saloon here. Very undergroundy. You know, sideways seating. There we go. Oh, the speed limit's gone up, so we can also increase our speed now. Now this is quite difficult because it's quite sunny outside. Really struggling to see the whatchamacallit, see the screen. There we go. We'll just coast Down to Ibrox Inner. Have a bit of break in there. That'll do. They don't seem quite as nippy as you'd imagine they would be for an underground train. I don't know if that's because they're all old and knackered. Oh, there we go. We've got an underground platform. Oh, brilliant! And we've even got people on this platform. Let's pop outside. Oh, hang on, we're not on the platform. There we go. That'll do. Doors open. Fantastic. And the people actually... Are you going to get on my train? Because the people do get on the train. Sort of. I mean, they don't walk on, which is a little bit disappointing, but this is Train Simulator. It doesn't have moving passengers. So, you know, if you expected it. But when you come in the train here, you do see people kind of... Where are we? Oh, we're there, look. Yeah, you do see people appear in the train. There we go. We now have an auto-drive permit. Oh, we'll do that later. We'll do that later. Come on, off we go. For now, we'll drive. Parallel, off we go. We're going to drive it properly for now, and then we'll come back to that later. Because there is a great feature, really exciting feature, which I do need to show you, which, as far as I'm aware, hasn't been replicated in Train Simulator before. Certainly not on a British route. Listen to those sounds. You could literally be on the Bakerloo line now, couldn't you, with those rattle sounds. Those really, you know, every now and then they do it. Really loud rattle sounds. Nope, it's not speeding up beyond that because we're going uphill. Never mind. Right, let's have a bit of braking. Oh, listen to that sound. That's ace. I actually have a colleague from my line of work who's based in Glasgow who's gone to do this. He's left as a guard with our company, and he's gone to be a driver with the Glasgow Subway, which I think is absolutely fantastic. At first I was a little bit like, oh, really? I thought they were all going driverless, which is a bit of a frightening thing, but apparently they're not now, so that's good. Or so I've been told, anyway. There we go. Right, stop. Doors are opening. Ah, there we go. Look, we've got people on our train. I'm sure we... Oh, hang on. Oh, they've changed. Heck. That's some out of Doctor Who, isn't it? Oh, dearie mate. Yeah, it's a little bit frightening. Yeah. Yeah, just a little bit. Antisocial behaviour will not be tolerated. I'm sorry, but looking like this is a bit antisocial in my opinion. Oh, let's get back in the cab. Let's go back to safety. Right, off we go. Full steam ahead. I don't know if we're meant to check like any sort of mirror. Do we put our head out this window while we dispatch? Probably, actually, because the buttons for closing the doors over there. I mean, we don't close the doors on this, of course. The doors close themselves in true Train Simulator fashion. Excuse me. Alright, next one. Kinning Park Inner. Of course, these are all called Inner, because we're on our way around the inner loop, as it were. There we go, make sure we're braking in time for this station, because I have had a couple of station overruns. Because what you've got to remember, of course, is that unlike London Underground, these are flipping short platforms. Because they're flipping short trains, you know, they're not massively long. There we go. We are a minute late, look. We're a minute late, that's no good. There we go, so right doors are open. Where is the actual button? Can we move across here? Have we got doors? Train couple, uncouple, saloon lights on and off. Yeah, we don't seem to have... Where are the buttons to do the doors? Oh, doors open. Okay, where's the door close button? Who knows? I was going to say, where's the door button on this side? But I guess you don't really need the door button on this. Oh, no, there's one there. Okay, ignore me. Ignore me. How do you mean you usually do? That's quite rude. Right, next stop, Shields Road Inner. Looks to be quite a gap between these two stations. No, less than a mile anyway. I guess this is an underground system. Maybe we'll actually get up to full speed. Because we're not going uphill either. So we might get to full speed. Listen to those sounds. Do they or do they not sound absolutely brilliant? I've got quite a few stops in quick succession after this. I mean, yeah, like I say, we're leaving it in full power. But we can't speed, of course. Oh, 35 kilometres an hour. Oh, look at that. Hell, we nearly got launched through the... nearly got launched through the cab there. That's ridiculous. I mean, the thing is obviously it doesn't say on here. I mean, yeah, we've changed to 35. None of the driving HUD is working, if you see what I mean. Like, none of it... We didn't see that 35 coming up, did we? It just happened. So, in terms of your speed limits, you can't really plan for that. You just shove it in full power and up for the best. Right, here we go. Into Shields Road. Sounds like somewhere you'd find in Newcastle, doesn't it, Shields Road? I mean, I've never been on this. I think I need to make a point of... Yeah, I'm not an efficient metro driver, am I, really? Or Glasgow Subway, sorry. There we go. Thing is with this, it's simple. Oh, hang on, we're rolling back. Oh, that's Train Simulator's... Yeah, Train Simulator does that, doesn't it? Yeah, I mean, if I go outside here... Yeah, it's a Train Simulator thing that I've got the full brake on. But there we go. It's simple. The platform's quite narrow, so it's to be hoped it doesn't get too busy. But yeah, there's not a lot of information, is there? It's a plain station. You've got where it goes, on which side of the line. There we go. Into parallel, off we go. Oh, it's not very quick, is it? Come on, little train. I mean, these are what, 1960s built, or are they 1980s? I can never remember. They're chuffing old now, aren't they? I think they're 1960s off the top of my head. Or maybe it's 80s. I know it was one number. Oh, that's how you do the cab light then. There we go. And you can have it, of course, completely off. The dim doesn't really help. You know, it says, oh, put it on dim so you can see what you're doing. Can't really see what I'm doing, if I'm being perfectly honest with you there. Right, so that's 35 kilometres an hour. Oh, right, okay, we don't need to slow down then. Keep on parallel. Just coast. This is not something that I have ever been interested in doing, but do you know what? I really want to go to Glasgow now, and I really want to ride on these things. Because there's just something quite adorable about them, isn't there? I spawned one... where did I spawn one now? I spawned one on the London Overground. Because obviously it's third rail. Couldn't get the flipping thing to work. Maybe it's because it's on a different route to its own. But yeah, I spawned one on the London Overground, and next to a 150/1, they look so tiny. I guess because they are. Right, well, here we go. West Street Inner. Let's get that door open. And we're going to move the reverser into this A here for the rest of the video. So I've been driving, but now it's time for the train to drive. So we're going to pop it in parallel, and we're not going anywhere. Yeah? Okay, not going. Why would you do that? Why would you put it in that? Well, basically what A is it's automatic train operation, which is the first time that we've ever seen this, as far as I'm aware, like I say. And the train will essentially drive itself. There we go. Doors are shut. ATO. Start. And we just sit back and we enjoy the journey. Look at that. There we go. So I'm going to get rid of that so you can see that I'm not driving it. You'll see the throttle stays where it is. I'm really hoping this works and it doesn't go zooming through the next station. And we're going to sit back and enjoy the journey to the next stop. Now you could kind of ask the question, I mean, I'm assuming that these trains run on ATO, automatic train operation, all day, every day, you know, and that when they're coming off the depot, they're driven. when they're going back on the depot, they're driven. It was made quite clear in the tutorial about that. But throughout the day, you know, just going round the subway, they are just ATO. Okay, so what's the point in buying this route? You know, what is the enjoyment of just sitting back and letting it drive itself? There we go, it's braking for us. If you just look, I've still got that in parallel. And as you can see, it's a lot more efficient than I am. Maybe we can claw back some time. There we go, doors are open. This is Bridge Street. Yeah, if you want to simulate this, then this is the best way to do it, because there's no simulator so far that actually lets you do that. I mean, we've got the Just Trains Metropolitan line. They are ATO for a lot of the sections, aren't they? I think there's some sections on the Met line where they drive themselves. But as far as I'm aware, they don't feature an ATO option, even though those trains in real life would have that. So this is ace. If you want to simulate what it's like to drive that, look, we're clawing some time back. ATO start. Go! So obviously we've lost some points here, because I only got 3 points last time, and then we've got 15 or 16 that time. Can't remember. I know I've just literally seen it in front of my own 2 eyes. But it's a lot more efficient doing this than me driving it. I mean, hell, you can probably get a really efficient driver driving it who's driven this route for years and knows the exact braking points. But I don't, so I'm not as good as the computer at driving this. You know, ATO's a scary prospect. It could lead to completely driverless trains, but I mean, ATO's been around for years. I mean, look how old these things are. The 1967 tube stock on the Victoria line was all fitted and they used ATO. You know, so perhaps it's just a more efficient way of metro systems working. I know ATO's used in Germany on the S-Bahn services. Oh, what's happening? Oh dear. Yeah. This is not efficient. What's happened? Okay, maybe there's a couple of bugs in the ATO system here. I mean, hell, I could do better than this. You've ruined my photo, man with hood. Yeah. Okay, might need to take a photo at a different station. Oh, there we go. There is doors on this side. I thought all the platforms would be in the middle, but it turns out they're not. Oh, can we go in there? That'd be quite a nice shot, wouldn't it? Like, in the tunnel. Ah, brilliant. Okay, so we've probably lost a bit of time with that now. If you do press ATO while the doors are open, nothing happens, which is great. Time penalty minus 146. Well, that was hardly my fault. The ATO was broken. At St. Enoch Inner. Buchanan Street Inner. Now, Buchanan Street is, of course, where you would change if you were going to Glasgow Central and Queen Street, I think. You can't get an underground from one to the other. I mean, they are only literally around the corner from each other, aren't they? But yeah, Buchanan Street is where you would change for the central stations. So I'd imagine that this was the busiest of the stations. Could be wrong, but, you know, it's going to stand to reason that you're going to get a lot of people getting off here and getting on here to be transported around the city of Glasgow and obviously to further climates. But yeah, this is the closest thing I think we've ever had to simulating a metro system. I mean, hell, look how fast it brakes compared to how fast I could brake. Oh, it's off. It's not stopping here. Oh, and it's braking again. Lovely. Doors open. Oh, we're 3 minutes late now. This is we're gonna end up with 0 points, aren't we? At the end of this. Yeah, dearie me. It's on a hell of a... Look at that. It's like it's built on a bridge. It's like that bridge out of Stepford County Railway, isn't it? At, oh, what's it called? Benton Bridge. Off we go. Bit of ATO. He's not worried about signals. As well, red signals, if you press ATO start, it will not start. Clever. Oh, look at that. I'm really impressed. I don't know how much time I will actually spend driving this. Purely and simply because, you know, I've never been on it. I don't really have that much of a connection with this route. But, to be perfectly honest with you, if metro driving is your thing, you know, if you like underground driving and stuff like that, you know, if you've played all the London Underground simulators and you cannot get enough, absolutely pick up a copy of this because you'll love it. You'll absolutely love it. The fact that you can't close the doors on this is a little bit disappointing. But then again, I don't know what the operation... You know, I don't know what happens in real life with regards to this. There we go, Cowcaddons. That's a very, very typically Scottish name, isn't it? Reminds me of Cowdenbeath. Or Cowdenbeath, I don't know how you say it, to be perfectly honest with you. Looks like we've got a different coloured tile here. Oh, I wonder, can we get a nice shot of it? Oh, why are you there? That'll do. Why did you have to be there? You've ruined my shot. Oh, hang on. Heck! How's it been raining? That's better. I can't turn the windscreen wipers. They're off. There we go. How did that happen? How did he end up covered in water? Have I just missed an essential part of this route? While I whizzed off to take a photo. Flipping heck. Oh, it always happens, doesn't it? Oh, I'm losing a lot of points here. Yeah, I'm currently in the minus points. There we go. ATO's working now. Where are we going next? Oh, hang on, it's slowing down. 18 kilometres an hour? What on earth for? Come on, we haven't got time to be doing 18 kilometres an hour. Doesn't seem to be like a speed limit override. I wonder if is this quite a sharp corner? Oh, it is. Right, okay, so this is, yeah. So we're off here now. So this is the whole network itself. That's the depot. So we're roughly halfway around now. Got quite a few stations in quick succession there. See, sometimes with how this ATO functions, it's a little bit buggy, isn't it? Obviously, I'm assuming it's not like that in real life, and it's absolutely done to a, you know, an absolute done to the minute. You know, your mile an hour you roll in, absolutely pristine. But I could be wrong. Like I say, you might have other experiences, and if you do, let me know in the comments, of course. But yeah, I always thought this would be a lot more kind of smooth and crisp than how I could drive it, but at some stations, I mean, now look, it's slowing right down to 7 miles an hour. Kilometres an hour, sorry, not miles an hour. I feel like I could have done a bit of a smoother stop. Maybe I couldn't. With a little bit of tweaking, I bet this will be a really, really good feature. I think it just needs a little bit of... I mean, I don't know... Train Sim don't tend to update routes after they've been released, do they? But yeah, just a little tiny bit of tweaking of this ATO system. I think this is brilliant. You can open the door as well, and just drive with the door open. Why not? Here we go. Way. Obviously that's not on the interlock. We're off. Oh, but let's close it, because there's a terrible draft coming in. Some of the textures are a little bit questionable on the ceiling. But we're not looking at the ceiling, and to be fair, most of it's dark, so we'll let them off. We'll let them off. Kelvin Bridge, next stop. Oh, listen to that. I love those sounds. It's one of my favourite parts of going on the Underground, and it's what I remember from being a child when we were going on the Bakerloo line, the Piccadilly line. That noise of the bogies on the on the rails, as you're flying through these tunnels, and it feels like you're doing hundreds of miles an hour. Whereas actually, when you think you're doing 25, 30 mile an hour, it's not that impressive, really, is it? Dinky little horn. It's not exactly commanding people to get out of your way, is it? I think it's also a bit unfair. The trains cannot brake this fast when you're manually driving it, which is probably why we lost so much time to begin with. They cannot brake that fast. So I think that the ATO has a little bit of an unfair advantage compared to us. Do you not think? Come on. Minus 446 points. How is that fair? Oh, we're 3 minutes late. You've obviously never been on a train in the north of England if you're penalising me like that for being 3 minutes late. Heck! Another couple of stations in quite quick succession, but I guess the map goes closer together, doesn't it, as you speed up? So it's a bit of an unfair representation. Problem is unlike the London Underground, all these stations look the same, other than the fact some of them are on hills. The majority of them are. Have we been to one that's curved yet? I think they're all fairly straight, aren't they? So once you've kind of done a few, you could be anywhere. You know, this is all. I mean, I can't see anything out of the front, and I do have my headlights on bright. Have a look if I move my head around. Oh my lord, hell, we're flying into this one. But yeah, it's all fairly. You know, I like what they've done there with the. Hang on. Just nip out. It's not like we need to stop. I like what they've done with the benches. Right, hang on. So that's interesting. So at this station, obviously there's a platform on both sides, but I'm assuming they'll only open the door on this side. Because this platform's obviously quite narrow. Right, okay. That makes sense. Where can we go from here? Oh, right, okay. We're nearly there. We've got Kelvin Hall, Partick, and Govan. And then obviously Ibrox is back where we started. Apologies if I'm not pronouncing these things right. Minus 500 points. How terrible. Oh, I quite like just standing here and watching it leave. Don't seem that quick, do they? I guess that's because, I mean, like, when you see that and it fades and you just see the two tail lights disappear around the corner, that is brilliant. I guess things never seem as quick, do they, when you're studying Train Simulator as opposed to real life? You don't have the rush of air on your face, you don't have all the noises around you. So yeah, okay, maybe, just maybe. Oh, there we go, Kelvin Hall Inner. And then we've got a big long section, a big downhill section, so we'll get up to some speed there. Maybe we'll make a bit of time back. I mean, I'm not really hoping that we will. I don't believe for 1 second that we will, but there we go. Stop! There we go, doors open. Is this on a corner? Yes, slightly curved stations. So yeah, we do have curved stations on the Clockwork Orange. They're a funny looking unit, aren't they? They're incredibly square to say they're such a round train. I think that's quite an art that they've managed to get. I mean, square, square. Yeah, they've managed to make such a round train so square. It's quite an achievement, is that? Oh, look, another one. It really is quite an achievement. It's nice though, because of course at one time everything in Glasgow was orange, wasn't it? The buses were orange, were they not? Oh, hang on, no, they might not have been. Yeah, they were orange and green, weren't they, in Glasgow? And of course you had SPT, which was the rail, and they were orange. They were, if not the same livery as this. Is that where this livery comes from, do you think? SPT? Strathclyde Public Transport? It may just be. Get that mouse out of the way. It's doing me nothing. Oh, this is a bit. This is very Berlin, isn't it? We've got some escalators over there, look, on the left and the right. With the pillars in the middle, that's incredibly Berlin. There we go, doors open. I mean, I would say that I'm fairly good at the doors. You know, I'd like to think I was fairly good at the doors. And being a guard, that is sort of my speciality. So these are sort of like guard-only operated trains, aren't they? I know that anybody that actually drives these things will be going absolutely mental at the prospect of that. But it's very similar to like the London Underground, where there's other than on the depot, there seems to be very little driving involved, and the majority of it is opening and shutting the doors. So is that the door close button? I think it is. In the middle, yeah? So I guess they'd shove the red out the window. Why is it not going? Go! Oh, the auto start doesn't seem to be working. Right, okay. Let's try again. Nope. Right, well, we'll pop it in forward. And we'll drive it ourselves. Because the auto start appears to have broken. Toot toot, off we go. That's cost us some more minutes. Any minutes we might have made up there with the ATO. Which I don't think we made many up, to be honest with you. I think the timetable is fairly tightly scheduled on this. Hell, we've come out of the tunnel. Going back in again. It's like a big tunnel that's all of a sudden, yeah. But we're not going to get up to any speed down here, are we? If the speed limit's, it's got up to 55 now. I don't think they would go back to the depot, would they? I think they, I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe they do go back to the depot every single trip. I like the, these are kind of doing a little dance. Like those bottle openers you get, you know, where you lift things up and push them down and it brings the cork out of your bottle. Doing a little woo. Right, now don't forget, Joe, you're driving this. Don't leave it in parallel and go sailing through the station. There you go, you see, I can't stop as quick. Oh, maybe I can stop as quick. Oh, no, come on, go. Oh, you see, maybe I am just as terrible as the ATO. I guess...
Service terminates here at Kelvin. Please leave the train.
Oh! Oh, did you hear what he said? The service terminates here. Please leave the train. That's ace. Right. There we go. Brakes, 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 brakes. So I wonder if they all terminate here and then go back to the depot and then go back round the other way. No, probably not. It'll just keep going round and round and round and round and round, because otherwise you won't actually be able to get from Govan. Govan? Is that how they say it? To Ibrox. You cross over and round like that. And of course you can't use ATO going back to the depot. As we are terminating our service here at Govan and returning to the depot, we must now disable ATO. We did, because it broke at the last stop. Return it back to the... oh, yeah, you can do that without putting it back in the braking. Right, okay. Off we go. of course, it's 18 kilometres an hour, so we shall put it in parallel. And the reason I say that is because, obviously, we're going uphill now. So where are we going? Depot line 2. And then changing ends and shunting back into the depot. Brilliant. So these must spin round every time you change direction, mustn't they, really? Because now this is, when we go back on the depot, this train will be the other way round. It'll be weird seeing daylight again. I don't know if I'm quite ready for it, if I'm being perfectly honest here. Oh, there we go, so I'm going across. Yep, that other chap coming the other way stopped. So yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed my time on the Glasgow Subway there. I really have enjoyed it. I don't know if I'm going to make a habit of popping back here. You know, maybe I will, maybe I won't. This might just be a one-time deal from me. However, I do thoroughly encourage you. Oh, hang on, right. Ah, there we go. Trying to skip outside to maybe get a photograph. You know, I'm a sucker for a photo. There we go. Get it all in. Yeah, if you are a lover of the Underground, I would recommend you purchase this. £19.99, link is in the description, because it's a good little route. How much you can do with it, I don't know, to be perfectly honest with you, because of course you've not got a variety of traction, you've not really got a lot of, you know, you can either drive it one way or you can drive the other way. Again, it's very similar to real life, you know, if you're going to simulate the circle line, there's only so much you can do with that. Is that reflected in the price? Probably not. It's quite pricey for what you get. But again, if you're a lover of it, I'd certainly recommend it. If you have enjoyed today's video, please do make sure that you click the like button. It's always appreciated. I think we're going all the way down to the end here. Do make sure that you subscribe if you haven't already, because whilst we might not be popping back to the Clockwork Orange ever again, we will definitely be covering things in Train Simulator, and I would absolutely hate for you to miss that. So yeah, click the subscribe button and click the notification bell. Oh, hang on, full brake. Brilliant. Right, so we've stopped there. Headlights off. Take that up. And if I've done it right, we should have still got... There we go. We've left everything on in this cab. Brilliant. Off we go, back into the depot. Oh, I did stop my train at the depot. Oh, I don't know what's happening. We failed anyway because of the lack of points, but there we go. I did stop at the depot. Look, we're going back into the... Oh, I don't know what's happening now. I've put it in emergency and the whole thing's broken. Yeah, hopefully I'll see you all next time then. Cheerio! Goodbye for now.